When you were a kid, did you ever used to like swallow gum after you chewed it?
When I was a kid, I tried swallowing a lot of weird things just because my mind was like, and then I would just like. One time I ate a peanut with the shell on it. One time I ate a Hershey Kiss with the foil on it.
Oh, well, I think everyone's done that, kind of.
And one time I put my finger on some tiny microscopic ants, and then I put them in my mouth and ate them.
Okay, well, that's weird. And so what was the other one? Peanut? That one's kind of weird as well.
A peanut with the shell on it?
Yeah.
I just did it one time because I was just like... I think it started with the peanuts.
But what about gum?
If I did swallow one once, I don't really remember, and I pretty much knew that, like with the foil on the peanut, I was just kind of curious, just to see if I could or something, but like with the gum, you kind of know you can, and then you know that it's going to be in you, and then I think I was like,
Well, it kind of feels like a challenge. When you're like, okay, you chew the gum, and then what do you do with it? The goal is to try to swallow it. Like, that's what gum is for.
But like, you could tell that you could easily swallow it. Like
yeah, but it's not easy.
I accidentally swallowed a whole Lifesaver and it got stuck in my...
It's about as easy as well, it's a good thing they have the holes, that's why they're called Lifesavers.
Yeah, it got stuck in my eustachian tube, and I could feel it going all the way down, and it was really painful.
Did you know that's why they're called Lifesavers?
I mean...
They're not just because they're shaped like Lifesavers, because the hole in the middle is there so you can breathe if it gets stuck in your throat.
It didn't get stuck in my throat, but I could feel it going all the way down, and it was really painful.
Well, like if it gets lodged and it was a regular hard candy, you wouldn't be able to breathe. But if it's a Lifesaver, there's the hole in the middle, so air can come through.
Messed up.
What is that messed up?
That you can buy foods that you have a risk of choking to death on in the first place.
What do you mean? It's not that common, but I guess just because for like hard candies and I guess mints, I don't know. People usually don't suck on mints, but for hard candies, like people suck on hard candies, so there's a greater risk of choking. But you don't need to. Like I don't really do that with hard candies usually.
I don't remember swallowing gum in particular. I just do remember swallowing a Hershey Kiss and a peanut. And I think they did both of those at my grandparents' house. We were just over there on a Sunday, and then the food was out, and then I just like, my little brain just like, it just, I know you're supposed to take the foil off.
Because they always keep bowls of...
I know you're supposed to take the foil off, but then I was kind of like, what if I don't take the foil off? No.
Grandparents always have bowls of swallowable snacks.
My grandparents
out.
That's because my parents are hosting us, but my grandparents had candy dishes.
Right.
Dishes of candy.
Oh, I didn't mean
appetizers?
No, I didn't mean that my grandparents have that, but that's a thing that grandparents have. My
grandparents had a candy dish, and when we were going to leave, or at some point during our visit, they'd take it out and we could have some. And we were always like happy about it. They're like, ooh, candy. But it wasn't just like for us to take. It wasn't just sitting on a coffee table and we could just take it. Like they would take it out and we would get to have some. And it was nice. And I wasn't really raised to graze and snack all day long. The food was usually like taken out at certain times. Kind of like what English people do when they take this dessert out at tea time. They just don't have desserts hanging around all day, just eating them like Americans do. Back, I think in the 70s, people would like eat on purpose, and then because of fast food and everything, and working all the time and being in your cars all the time, people just started eating all the time, anytime, on the go, all the time. People didn't used to do that. They'd eat at mealtime.
But don't you get hungry though?
No, because they would always have like 3 meals a day plus 2 snacks. Like they would be eating all the time, but it would be mealtime, and then the food would get put away. They'd eat at breakfast, and they'd go do stuff. Then it would be lunchtime.
But
they would have probably a mid-morning snack of an apple or a container of milk or whatever a person needs for a morning snack. And then they would like at tea time, which is like 3 o'clock, and then dinner time, and then maybe something before you go to bed, like a warm glass of milk. I never had milk before bed, but it was like the food got taken out, and then the food got put away. Whereas like Americans will like have have snacks on them, carry them around, eat all day long, eat while they're walking, eat while they're driving, just like eat all the time. They don't have times where they eat. They just eat all the time. It's weird.
British people don't do that?
What?
British people don't do that?
Why do you say rich?
British.
Oh.
They probably still do.
Europeans still don't really.
They probably do.
No, like because a lot of them still have like because it's like take French and Italian people for instance. They almost always eat with other people. It's almost always a social experience, and so they'll set a table or they'll sit at a table.
I think you're generalizing.
I am generalizing because obviously Americans have moved over there or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's two styles. An American style is to eat on the go.
I don't notice a difference when I see like.
I just finished reading an article. And it's still like they French people almost always eat with other people, and it's a social experience. Americans will just like grab something and eat it just to like eat something. French people like it's.
Have you been there?
No.
You've never been to Europe at all?
No. It's eating time, and they sit down and they eat something.
I hope I don't take that long to go to Europe.
Yeah, I know, really.
But it doesn't make sense to me that people wouldn't just eat throughout the day. Like,
for example, because
have meals just gotten smaller?
If you're eating 3 meals and 2 snacks or 3 snacks, like an apple in the morning or
that's snacking though.
No, but it'll actually be snack time, and they'll eat it and then they'll put it away. Or they'll go to a cafe and they'll sit and they'll have a bagel and
But
a
what if
coffee.
you
They'll
eat
sit
dinner and then it's like
it.
that wasn't really enough? That wasn't enough dinner.
They don't do that. They eat large meals.
It's not like
but the meals have a lot of fresh produce in Europe. Like they'll eat a fish and potatoes
plenty of people
and
in like
vegetables and bread.
Plenty of people in Britain don't eat like 3-course meals or whatever.
France and Italy in particular have a very specific culture where they sit with friends or family and have a time that they eat and then put it away. Like Britain.
It's funny that you thought I said rich people because in a way snacking kind of is more for poor people because rich people can just have big meals and then not be hungry. But it's like you think this will be enough food for dinner, and then it's like, I'm still hungry, let me have a snack.
The thing about Americans is they don't consider it a social experience. They just consider it a I'm hungry experience, and they just do it on the run.
I feel like British people probably don't either.
They grab a breakfast, if they even eat breakfast, and then they eat at their work. They'll eat at their cubicle. They'll eat in their car. They eat on the go. Then they'll get home late and they'll just like microwave something, or like they don't take the time. The thing about French and Italian people is they take, and Portuguese and Spanish people too, they take the time to make a meal, and it takes like 15 minutes to make a meal, by the way. They take the time to make a meal, and then they sit down, and then they eat it, and then they pick it up. Like they take the time, and Americans don't consider that. So about educated people, including in America, the more that you learn about your weight and about taking care of yourself, the more educated you are, or at least like educated about taking care of yourself. Rich people will actually put exercise on their schedule. They'll actually sit down and eat meals. They'll actually bother to make a salad. Because I've worked for rich people, like many, and I hear them talking.
Oh.
Because I drove them to their rich estates.
Oh.
Like many of them, though. And they're all talking about spending time with their family and their schedules. And invariably, they talk about the sports they play and the times they go to the gym and when they're going to go to the gym and their schedules. And I noticed that they take the time to do the things that take care of you. Like they take the time to work out and to have dinner with their family. They don't have as many bad habits because they want to be successful, And they know that to be successful, they have to have good habits, and they do it. So if rich people will tend to have really good habits, because being rich goes with being successful, and you can't really be successful with too many bad habits. The ones that work for their money. I don't mean like you just struck it big, you became a pop star.
But that's all rich people.
Yeah, the ones that like worked to be rich.
No,
the ones I was driving, and they were very, very rich.
no one works to be rich.
The ones that I was driving, and they were very, very rich.
Not anymore.
Worked in finance. So they would work like 40-hour, 50-hour weeks, and they had to squeeze in all this other stuff like family time and exercise time. But they did. So they had a lot of money, but they also worked a lot. And so a lot of rich people, they actually work really, really hard. It's usually people are familiar
maybe lesser rich people, maybe not like billionaires.
Usually, I think even people like Kim Kardashian and Oprah and stuff, they like schedule in time to eat, time to cook, time to work out. Most successful people take really good care of themselves.
Not like working hard.
They work like 40, 50-hour weeks. They do. Even Paris Hilton works like 50, 60-hour weeks.
Working is different when you're that.
Well, they
rich.
have that kind of work that people do think might be super fun, but it's still work. Like they're working all the time. Paris Hilton doesn't even hardly sleep. And Martha Stewart, she works like 60-hour weeks.
I think
she gets
you're hearing what they want you to hear.
No, but if you talk to the press, if you talk to anyone who like studies these people, they can confirm like they work really like so many hours. But even though they work so many hours, they still take the time every day to like work out and have good habits, because they know that if they don't have good habits, they'll burn out. It also, it doesn't help you to be successful if you're going to be a mess. Like, they take good care of themselves, because you can't really enjoy your success if you're, like, a mess.
They don't take care of themselves. Other people take care of them.
Yes, they have assistants, but you still have to be the one that works out, even if you have a trainer.
Yeah, but maybe working out, but if you're talking about, like, appearance and everything, like, that's...
No, I know they have, like, hair people and makeup people and...
It's like, how does this rich person look so good? It's because they're not doing it themselves.
But
they wouldn't, because people wouldn't have time to do it on their own.
I know from experience, just even arranging all that stuff, even arranging it is like a job. Like, I don't necessarily do a lot of work in my house.
I doubt they arrange it themselves either.
And they have an assistant. But I know...
The assistant does all the work.
No, they still... I know myself, like, from managing a lot of things, that...
It's different when you're rich, though. It's different. You can't say you know for yourself because you're not rich.
The other thing is, if you're Oprah or Martha Stewart, they have a way of having their hand in everything, because they know that if they're not paying attention to their whole empire, that stuff can get away.
There's a difference between Oprah and Kim Kardashian.
They both have an empire to manage. And they both work about the same amount.
Oprah is self-made.
I don't want to argue.
What are you gonna say? Kim Kardashian is not. You're gonna say Kim Kardashian is self-made? She's not. She was born into it. She's about as self-made as Donald Trump. Self-made billionaires, or is she even a billionaire? I don't know. But self-made billionaires would be like Oprah or Michael Jordan.
It doesn't matter if you weren't starving when you were a kid. It doesn't matter if your parents
not
had
starving.
Money.
They were
doesn't matter
they
if
were
your
rich.
Parents had money. You still had to make her mom's only worth $300 million, and she's worth $900.
Only $300 million.
And she's worth $900 and something million, and all of her siblings aren't. They're only worth $3 because she built a business. She built it from her own ideas.
Not
from her marketing and from her.
So did Donald Trump.
He actually owes a lot of money. He's not a good businessman. He's not a good example because he's not a good example. He's not successful, and he has really bad behaviors. He doesn't follow the law. He he's a really bad example.
Look at how when Donald Trump tweets something, Twitter has to put a disclaimer underneath saying, no, this is actually
a lie, because that's all he knows how to do.
Oh, weird. I guess because that KFC doesn't have a drive-thru, they had like they set up like a drive-thru sign next to the door so that people don't go in or something like that. That's weird. Oh man, have you heard about those tents outside restaurants? Or it's like go in you can you eat at this restaurant in like little tents outside the restaurant.
I've seen them.
It's like, oh cool, so we can have that, but not like
it makes no sense.
Not that for homeless people. We can have that, but homeless people can have that for eating out. But they can't have that for homeless people.
First of all, I don't think you'd stay that warm. Second of all,
but homeless people can't even have that though.
They're not allowed to.
They're it's not set up where it's set up for the.
Cheap. You know, you have to pay for
it's
those
taking up
also
real estate.
Well, where would you put them?
I don't know.
They're also not warm. They're not warm without heat.
In the winter.
What do you mean?
In the winter, they're not. But they're also not warm in the winter for people who go to eat out.
I know, but they have heaters in them that the restaurant pays for.
Why does that 7 Stars Baker look better?
What?
Why does that 7 Stars Baker look better? Is it newer or is it the
brand
original?
New.
Oh. How many are there now?
Well, I know of 4, and if you count the one that's supposed to go where Olga's used to be, I guess it would be 5, and then I don't know if there's more than that. What have you been working on lately?
Same stuff. I was doing a week of Halloween videos, so that was kind of taking up a lot of
Did your costume work out?
time. More or less. I guess more than usual because of the fact that it was simpler. It would have been awful to try to trick or treat in something like that, though, because I could barely see through it. And then I had to stay up like or no, I for Monday for this Monday's video, I had to record the day of uploading. Or I had to record on Monday, which usually I record well in advance. So I had to record and then upload, or I had to record and then edit and then upload all in the same day.
What were you uploading?
It was just another Life is Strange video, but
You have a show Life is Strange?
No, it's a game.
Oh.
The game is called Life is Strange. I play with Iggy, and then
what do you play as?
Bubba is you.
Jesus,
We've done some Animal Crossing videos, and we've been recording some Untitled Goose Game videos, so it'll be going up next year.
What did you call it?
Untitled Goose Game.
Goose?
Yeah. Look at the skeleton in that person's back window.
Oh, crazy.
Someone's been trying to get out of there for a long time. Another skeleton. But I wasn't even able to get the video up until like late Tuesday, which is not common that I do that. Usually if a video goes up that late, it's because I've been working on the thumbnail. But this is a series that I'd been going for a while, so I already had the thumbnail art done. But after we recorded, I didn't get the audio for like until the next morning. I was up all night waiting for the audio, and I didn't get it until the next morning, and then I took forever converting it because the file size was so big, and then it was just a mess. And I already had Tuesdays and Wednesdays video done and whatever. Oh right, I forgot Wednesday's video just came out. Oh, wow, yeah, we got here the completely opposite direction.
Look how full it is. It's nuts.
Oh, God. Well, people just think it's okay to go out now.
Well, it's going to be Christmas and people are going to be shopping a lot and not
Yeah,
just
exactly.
online.
We're probably going to get another spike.
Well, people aren't really...
You know, people are probably still going to do Black Friday. I bet they are.
Well, it's kind of like Black Friday month now. They don't really have it all at once. I mean, there'll be one or two stores that'll do it, but they're changing.
Black Friday month in November?
They've been doing it. Target.
So Thanksgiving's just gone now. I've been seeing it happen more every year, and this year Thanksgiving is like completely done. There's no Thanksgiving.
It's like part of one holiday season now. I told Eden.
No, it's just gone.
It's a holiday season.
Look at that person. See, look at that person buying Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, like, people are decorating the outside of their
There's
houses
no
now,
mention
in,
of
like,
Thanksgiving.
November 1st.
Even in jokes about celebrating Christmas early, Thanksgiving doesn't even come up now in those jokes. It's not like, oh, you're celebrating Christmas before Thanksgiving. It's like you're just celebrating Christmas really early. Thanksgiving just does not come up in the conversation.
But people still look forward to it. They really, really do. A lot of people say it's their favorite holiday just because it doesn't have any bullshit attached to it, and that's why.
Yeah, it does.
And that's why. Well, there's this stress of seeing people that you only see once a year that you don't necessarily get along with. But
yeah.
Besides
Especially
that,
now.
it doesn't have any commercial bullshit attached
It's
to it.
even more stressful now because of the pandemic. You can't see those people.
People can just. Christmas is a loaded thing, but Thanksgiving you can just enjoy it. And including the fact it doesn't matter what religion you are. Like, everyone enjoys Thanksgiving. It's a totally American holiday, and but you can't take away from
This
that.
is another reason that Thanksgiving is just going to be done now. No, it's going to be done. Because...
Except for the pandemic's not going to help.
Because there's the pandemic, and people aren't going to be seeing their
But they're not going to forget it just because of 1 year. People love it too much. They love
Maybe
Thanksgiving.
it won't be 1 year.
Well, no, the pandemic is not going to go away. Not that quickly. I agree with that.
That's not... I was kind of like saying worst case scenario, not definite.
The pandemic's not going anywhere.
By next November...
What I'm thinking the best they can do is to have some medicines that they've developed that really like fight it when people catch it so that they can like recover. But I doubt if they're going to get a vaccine that quickly. If it was that easy to make a vaccine, they would have already made one for herpes and AIDS and the flu. They have sort of flu vaccines, but they would have made it.
So people are just going to be wearing these stupid masks for the rest of time?
No, they'll probably get some really effective treatments to treat people when they do catch it. And then they have to also study the effects of it because it seems to be very complex. And so when people catch it, they'll help them recover. That's what they're going to probably make a lot more easily. Like, they'll be able to make a medicine to help your lungs recover, etc. It's easier than to make a vaccine because that's like super, super specific. Like, they'll work on the vaccine, but I'm not holding my breath. You know? Like, it makes sense. Like, a lot of things can help lungs heal, but only one thing is going to be the vaccine. And yes, the masks are going to stay around. That's what's going to happen too. I saw a bunch of kids in the playground today. They were all wearing their masks. They were like small kids, like 5. They were all wearing masks and playing. They're just running in the fresh air and like climbing on stuff. It's not like a
Great,
big
just
deal.
like the TSA.
What's that?
Just more security theater.
It's not security theater.
It's not pointless, but the fact that people are leaning on so much is pointless.
It's an 80% chance at least that if everyone's wearing masks that you won't catch it. The other thing is, it's good for kids to run around and get fresh air. It's not good for them to stay in the house.
Not with each other. Not for them to hang out with each other. Not right now.
You need sunshine. You need fresh air. You need friends. Like, the kids will not be healthy without friends.
You're thinking too literally about it. Like it's the safety and isolation is more important. Ugh, that was awful. Walmart was awful.
Why?
What do you think? Look at the
Because it's full of people?
full of people who will not keep their distance. Forcing me to go the wrong way down the aisles because they're going the wrong way down the aisles, and I'm trying to stay away from them. I trying to use self-checkout, and people kept walking by, and the aisle isn't even 6 feet long. So when people are walking by me, of course they're not 6 feet away, and then they had to check my receipt on the way out, and it's like, what am I supposed to hand it to you? I'm not gonna give you something that I'm going to then take back. Like, what?
Did you keep the receipt?
Yeah, I like kind of floated it in front of them and they tried to go towards me to see it, and I had to like back away and like outstretch my hand. It's so stupid. Nobody cares about the distance. It's like I'm going through an obstacle course or something, because literally I'm the only person in the store that is even trying to stay 6 feet away from anyone else. It makes me look like a weirdo, even though everyone else is the one being irresponsible. And that's why it took me so long as well, because I would like couldn't walk most of the time because there were people standing in the way.
Do you think Joe Biden won?
I guess, I don't know. I heard some people say it's gonna be like when before the election, like the day before the election, it's like tomorrow everything changes, and it's like only if Joe Biden wins, because otherwise it would be the same person as president. So why would anything change? Yeah, maybe you could say that 4 years ago. Right, he wants to stop counting the votes right now, but right now, if he stopped counting the votes, Joe Biden would be the president. He's like, no, stop counting. Okay, well, you're lost, literally.
It's 7-Eleven.
Yeah. You mean because of the place called 7-Eleven, or because I took so long?
Which is funny because I never seen 7-Eleven on my clock before, but
Yes, you have.
it's the name of the restaurant. I mean
The restaurant.
Sorry, the store. The store that's...
All right, I'm taking you out tonight. I'm gonna
store
go
that
to the
sells a lot of
fanciest
food.
restaurant in town.
A store that sells a lot of food. People go to 7-Eleven often just to get a snack.
I mean, it's a convenience store. That's what they sell. Pretty much all they sell. I'm trying to think of like what 7-Eleven would sell that isn't edible.
Isn't?
Yeah. Phone charger, maybe?
Aspirin?
You eat aspirin. What do you mean?
Well, it's not food.
It's not food, but it's edible.
They'll have all kinds of medical stuff like Q-tips and
Look at the house.
They'll have toilet paper.
Look at the ghost projected on the house. That yard sign for that political campaign right there looked like a tabloid headline. Like, alien boy found in woods. Vote for Scott Bradner. I don't know if that's what the name was. Sounds like a name, doesn't it? Scott Bradner. Or like something of a politician.
I tried the ghost pepper donut, did I tell you?
No.
It was really good. It was strange. Had vanilla frosting and really spicy sprinkles.
Sounds awful.
Like handicap fries. Do you ever eat an handicap fry? Do you know how they like?
Maybe when I was really little.
Well, do you know what chip do you know has a hot, like not just spicy, like Doritos, but like hot, like
the hot Doritos.
Oh, they put that.
I had those once by accident in school. They were giving out Doritos, and I had some Doritos. It was like, oh, these are nacho Doritos. This was like in like first or second grade. It was like, oh, these are Doritos. I like Doritos. And then I was like, oh god, like listen, as if I was allergic or something.
They put that spice on the sprinkles, and then they put the sprinkles on the white.
That's not ghost pepper. What the hell?
They can't literally have. I mean, I don't know.
Sure, they can. It's supposed to be a challenge. That's the whole point.
What do you mean a challenge?
The ghost pepper donut challenge.
What do you mean challenge?
That's why they're selling them like that.
I thought they were just doing it for Halloween.
Yeah. They're not just spicy donuts.
They are just spicy. They're not hot.
Well, that's what they're supposed to be.
I mean, they made my forehead sweat. They're like...
No, they're supposed to be unbearable.
They're not. They don't burn your mouth. They don't burn your mouth at all. They're just spicy. Like, they'll make your forehead sweat. And you'll be
Sounds disgusting.
And you'll be like, oh my god, these are spicy. They're spicy like Indian
Give me a headache just thinking about it.
They're spicy like Indian food.
It's a curry-filled donut.
They're not curry at all.
Curry-filled.
They're not. Ugh. That could not be grosser.
It's gonna be weird if Biden wins. He doesn't seem like a president.
Okay, so I heard what you just said, but Trump?
He's been president.
I don't even know.
I'm not saying I hope he wins. I'm just saying it'll be weird if Vice President Joe Biden is now President Joe Biden.
Most of the
That's
time
what I'm saying.
that Trump has been president, it just seemed like he was just playing pretend. Like showing up and pretending like he could give speeches and pretending that he could like.
I don't disagree, but the weirdness has worn off of not really. Like, but he at least seems like a cartoon president. You know what I mean? Like he seems like a president from a show.
Biden will seem as much as anyone from Reagan to George Bush. He'll be fine.
No, Joe Biden will seem like
he'll be
fine. The vice president.
No, he'll be fine. He'll be good. And he'll actually...
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it'll be weird.
He'll actually know how to do the job.
Who would you rather have as president right now? Trump or Sarah Palin?
Sarah Palin, for sure. Because Trump does not give a shit about the Constitution. And every single day he tries to see what more he can get away with. Sarah Palin never had the intention to try to like upside down the country and see what she could get away with. She was just kind of a twit. And I didn't like how she didn't care about the environment. But she would have never just like blatantly tried to see how much crime she could do. Like every day that he rents out his hotels to Secret Service and stuff, he's literally every day trying to see how much money he can steal from us and get away with it. That's his main motive. Sarah Palin's main motive wasn't going to be to see how much she could steal from us. It was just going to be president. And she would have been like a whatever. She would have been a George Bush president.
Probably worse. Maybe.
I don't know. She wouldn't have insulted all of the European leaders. She wouldn't have pulled out of the Paris contract.
No, worse than Bush, I mean.
Paris Accord just because Obama made it. She wouldn't have she might have ruined healthcare, but not just because she hated Obama. She wouldn't have done that.
I meant Bush.
Trump is ridiculously terrible, and she definitely wouldn't have canceled freedom of speech. Like, she wouldn't have acted like a king and said how many terms she can get. Like,
What do you mean
I'm
cancel freedom of speech?
Even from the beginning, from the day of his inauguration, he tried to say that all the reporters lied about the size of it and tried to get them arrested and tried to sue him. From the day he got elected, he tried to cancel freedom of speech as much as he possibly could.
Which is ironic considering his followers.
And that's the reason why he started calling all the media fake, which is what Hitler did. Hitler right away set it up the illegitimacy of the press. Tried to cancel the press in any way they could, whether it's to outlaw... And then he didn't allow any of the news services to come into his press conferences except the ones he liked, like Fox News. He was the first president to cancel his going to the foreign correspondents dinner, which
You are coughing a lot.
I'm old and sometimes I get a tickle in my throat and I just ate all those nuts. I sometimes get a tickle on my throat. Might be because of my high blood pressure medicine. There's a warning on the label that says it gives you a cough sometimes. Anyway, in every way, he has tried to delegitimize the press. He goes, every time he has a press conference, he literally says to everyone, you're fake news, you're a liar. But he's saying
like a child.
But he's saying it to the American people. And what has happened is half of his people, he's
literally like, la la la, I'm not listening.
But literally, he has convinced the dumb people in America that they can't trust the news, which is so dangerous and scary. Plus, it makes it hard to do your job.
Well,
it's true, though. No, there is such a
not true in his favor.
No, listen.
But true.
There is such a huge difference between all of the news media being owned by corporations and having agendas, okay? And all saying the same stuff with their agendas, their corporate capitalistic agendas. There's such a difference between that and just a foolish guy who makes up lies all day long.
But it's true that people shouldn't trust the news outlets.
You just have to realize that they have an agenda and that what they say will have a slant on it, which is one thing, which is completely different than
they just straight up won't report on stuff.
Okay, so that makes you have to be a discriminating viewer. But this guy, Ryan, not only just tells straight up lies, he lies about other people.
What about Fox News? They lie.
I know. But these other liberal media corporations, they don't just tell straight out, like, completely made up lies. No, they don't. What they'll do is they'll take the truth and they'll spin it to their liking, to their agenda. But you can read between the lines of that. He not only makes up straight up lies, he tells lies about other people.
I can't.
He tells lies about other people.
I get my news from, not that it's any better, but I get my news from, like, social media, I guess.
So you can watch CNN and you can know that they have an agenda and that they're going to leave stuff out. But
I see what the individual people are reporting on happening.
But CNN is not going to tell you a complete fabricated untruth. Like 100%. But Ryan, isn't it against the law to say a lie about another person? That's called libel. It's against the law.
Yeah, but he's the one more likely to sue on that.
But he breaks the law every day. Sarah Palin wouldn't have done that. She would have, like, stretched the truth. She would have said Obama, like, she would have been really close to making... She would have been really close to making up stuff. She would have been like a Fox News type person. But Trump, he says he'll just make something up. And he'll just, like, lie about everyone else. Sarah Palin would have been like Fox News. I think she worked for Fox News.
Did she?
I think for a second. She worked for some news organization for a second after she was, like, vice president-elect or whatever.
Do you think maybe 50 years from now, maybe you have to be further than that, but, like, eventually news will become more like the way content is sort of becoming, where it's, well, I guess content hasn't really gotten there at this point because it's still run by, like, big studios and stuff. But there's at least a push towards like independent created content? Do you think news is going to get to that point where it's like it's just people individually report on stuff instead of like news organizations?
Do you think that people are going to generally get their news from more individualized sources? In the
Yeah,
future?
like
They
instead
already
of this network, it's like this journalist.
Okay, so like
or
I want to give you an example.
or this person was in this place and saw this, and they're reporting on it.
I'm going to give you an example. In my household, we don't have TV. We don't have cable. We only have our phones.
But I mean, like to the extent where it will hurt news organizations.
So.
And they'll start to disappear.
I literally only get my news if it's not from Stephen Colbert or whatever, and everyone can just like not laugh. But Seth Meyer or whatever, like he usually fills me in on what's going on. Anyway, there's the Young Turks, which is like a private news organization, but it's also basically just like a couple of guys. And then I've been listening to this guy called David Pakman, which I think is just a YouTuber, but his thing is to put out news. And that's what's happening in my house. And I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot more people who aren't going to have cable because these stupid subscriptions already cost so much. Hulu, Netflix, blah, blah, blah. And then you can like have your phone that I have. And a lot of people only have phones. I think that, yeah, it's going to be more and more individual news people, or at least it's going to be news services that you can look on your phone because people aren't going to have cable. I mean, sure, some people have cable, but a lot of people don't have cable.
I think you can already look at like MSNBC and stuff on your phone.
I mean, as much as anyone puts out stuff on their phone, it's going. But YouTube is just so full of information. They have to compete against that. They have to compete against YouTube channels. Young Turk, Dave Pakman.
YouTube very well could disappear eventually.
YouTube?
It is the only straight up video hosting site, so it's got a monopoly, but I don't know if it's really profitable enough.
Who is the person who owns it or runs it or
Google.
invented it or whatever?
Google owns YouTube, which means it probably won't, but they might just like stop focusing on it and eventually if it doesn't get more of a profit. You might be able to. You might have noticed that there's like a lot more ads lately. Like they've been showing like instead of they're like before you watch a video now there's like 2 or 3 ads before a video.
2.
Sometimes 3 maybe.
What they have is they'll have the quick one and then they'll have the longer one with the skip ad after it. Mm-hmm. Like on almost every time. And so are you telling
I've already seen some people saying that it's unbearable and that they're kind of not watching YouTube anymore.
I don't think it's unbearable. You just have to wait for like 5 seconds before you can watch your YouTube video, which is usually way high quality than anything I can find on any...
I don't use ad blocker on YouTube because I'm trying to support the creators I watch, but I think a lot of people, and maybe even... I probably won't, but a lot of people probably who do the same thing probably might start using an ad blocker.
So, the ads on the videos, I was kind of thinking that the YouTubers put them there for money, but is that like not the case? Like,
I don't even know anymore. I should know this of all people, but I don't even know anymore because no, I guess that must be the case. But for one thing, it's also they also put ads on copyrighted videos that like use copyrighted content. They get a copyright claim. And then whoever owns the copyright for the stuff used in the video makes money off the ads that get put on it. So I have a lot of videos on my edits channel that are like that, and they probably have ads on them as well.
Did you say you have a lot of ads on your videos? Is that what you just said?
On my edits channel because I use copyrighted content.
Oh. Anyway,
I can't get any ads on there besides that, despite the fact that I qualify for monetization.
And also to go back to the news, like you said, like corporations.
They say I don't qualify, but I have 1,000 subscribers and get enough views and everything, so I do qualify for partnership.
Ooh, nice. What you said about the news, people are suspicious of the news because they are all owned by Rupert Murdoch or whatever. They're all corporate or whatever, and people don't want to just hear that corporate crap. So they'll listen to anything else. They'll listen to NPR. They'll listen to whatever they can that they think might actually be an original, refreshing opinion. Unfortunately, sometimes it's like, who's the guy who runs Breitbart, who used to work for Trump, or it'll be Rush Limbaugh, it'll be like an evil person. But hopefully they're listening to somebody. I mean, you can even get the news from Bernie. You know, like he keeps putting out information.
Did you see how
Robert
he
Reich.
predicted exactly how the election results would come?
Yeah, there's Bernie, there's Robert Reich, there's a lot of people to listen to.
Did you see that clip of him on getting interviewed by Palin, and then he was like, "Here's how the election results." I don't know. He's like, "I don't know what's going to happen, but people need to be expecting this to happen," and then he described exactly what happened.
Nice. Well, everybody told me like before the election that it was going to be a couple days before we would get the results.
But he didn't just say that. He said like Trump will say he won because more votes will come, more Democratic votes will come by mail, and so the more the Republican votes will be announced first, until Trump will say he won prematurely, which he did.
Somebody said, I don't know if it was my dad or something, like, how can Trump and Biden both win? Or both say they won?
Because of the way it's being announced.
God, my phone is so scratched up. It's crazy.
What is high tap?
What?
What is high tap?
TEP?
There was a high tap building over there.
I don't know.
I always think their logo says Hotep, even though it doesn't look like that. Just because Hotep is actually like a name and high tap isn't. It's a name in Sim Max anyway. Charlie Hotep.
What kind of sandwich did you get? Turkey?
Tuna.
Oh.
Is honey roasted turkey a thing?
Yeah.
It's not honey roasted ham?
But maybe both.
I feel like honey roasted ham is more common, but I feel like I only would have had honey roasted turkey. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what I would eat honey roasted turkey with.
Mayonnaise?
Lettuce and mayonnaise and bread. That's it.
You like a little bit of mayonnaise, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you like cheese in your sandwiches
No.
ever?
Because the cheese isn't good cheese. Deli cheese isn't good.
What if you got Land O'Lakes American singles? They're kind of high quality.
What the hell is that? No. The butter brand?
No, but they have more high quality cheese.
No, it's not the quality. It's the flavor.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really like any cheese singles, other than Kraft for grilled cheese, specifically.
You should try Cabot Farm singles for grilled cheese, because Kraft is really like not good cheese.
Yeah, but it's good for...
I know it melts good and it tastes very cheesy. So
Cabot singles aren't good as singles.
What?
Cabot singles aren't good singles. Like, they're too thick, and they break easy.
Because it's actual cheese. It's cheese.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if Kraft's bad. It's junk food.
I know, but you can make a really much better grilled cheese that tastes better.
But no, it's just different. It's like getting,
Cheddar melts very
It's
nice.
like eating a Hot Pocket versus eating Papa John's,
Or eating a croissant pastry instead of a Pop-Tart.
Kind of.
Because a Pop-Tart was supposed to be considered like a Danish. Oh, breakfast Danish.
It's about as Danish as much as, like, Anyway.